So first of all, I'm a big champion of India as a market. And I'll give you some of the anecdotal references. India is by far the largest consumption economy in this part of the world. Take away China and America. You have 1.4 billion people to feed, to provide employment for, and to provide the necessary health care and so on and so forth. This is nowhere else in the world is the size that we are talking about. So look at it from a consumption perspective. Look at it from the governance perspective. I grew up in a time where the governments were not very stable, the investments weren't coming because the political system was not there. You had governments falling in 18 months, 25 months at best. 5 years later, you had a different political establishment and so on and so forth. Today, you see there is 10 years of stability and you have another 5 more years of potential stability which is there. This is again unparalleled in the world. In terms of somebody making an investment, what do they look for? They look for consumption, they look for political system, they look for whether how safe is the investment going to be. There cannot be any other place in the world which is as safe as India is. It's got a democratic system, it's functional, there is a smooth transfer of power, even if it were to happen at the federal levels or in the state levels. And there is a law of land, which is transparent, and you could approach any administration, there is a regulator, everything else is in place. Let's look at the GDP. India is poised to grow at around 7%. The closest country that is likely to grow is at about 4% of this size. Now, 3% on an economy of 3.5 trillion is huge.
That's huge.
Every city is growing, which means there is going to be additional infrastructure built, there is going to be public transport built, there is going to be healthcare system built, there is going to be schools, there is going to be colleges. There is explosion in terms of the need for infrastructure. So there is going to be employment. Look at it from an adoption of technology perspective. How many devices each of us own as compared to 10 years ago? The per capita energy consumption is so high. So the energy sector is certainly going to grow. And you are having electric vehicles and so on and so forth. So infrastructure and energy is here to stay, and it is going to grow at minimum 2x the GDP growth. Because there was a time when development used to happen and then infrastructure was built.
Yes.
But now the government has realized it cannot work that way. The infrastructure is built and then development happens, or it happens simultaneously, which is a very different philosophy that we had about 10-15 years ago. So there is going to be jobs, there is going to be economic prosperity, there is going to be new technologies, new processes, new go-to-market and stuff like that. These are exciting times. And imagine, and I tell this to a lot of people, we have to be blessed to be in the situation that we are in today. Imagine what would have it taken for us to be born in a country which is ravaged by war or anywhere else. We are in the right place at the right time. And this is once in a lifetime opportunity for us to encash and also do good to the rest of the world.
Okay, I'm sold. The India infrastructure story is definitely very exciting, and I think actually the way you positioned it, the next 15 to 20 years, Viksit Bharat, developed India, I think this is the one sector actually that you're going to see both stability as well as quick growth.
Correct. And don't miss out the how piece, right? And you have the people with the right demography to execute on it. You don't have an aging population like most other Asian economies have, which means you have whatever it takes to get it done, which is a very unique place to be in. For somebody who grew up in the 70s and 80s and 90s, we weren't as confident as the kids of today.